I'll start recording and then I'll share my screen. So, all right, we have a few new people in the room today. That's fantastic. Kareem says, I am new here, tuning in from Lagos as well. Collins from Port Harcourt, Idris from Lagos. We are spread across the world, and that is fantastic. That being said, my name is Ikenna George Belendo, and today I'll be taking us on this presentation. So please pay keen attention to all I have to say today. This particular meeting is for the average Joe. What I mean by that is I am going to break it down to the barest minimum. I am going to do my best not to use any technical terms, any big grammar, any big words. This is the 101 of how Royal Q is done. And also for those that don't understand what cryptocurrency is all about, how does it work? Maybe you've heard about it in the news, or a friend of yours has been talking about cryptocurrency, and you want to know what exactly it means. This is also the meeting for you. So please pay full attention and give me an hour, and trust me, you will understand every little thing I say if you pay proper attention. Awesome. So we are 5 minutes past the hour of 9, and I think we can kick off now. My co-host, please, if at any point you can't hear me clearly, unmute yourself and let me know so that I can rectify things from this end. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now, and then we will kick off. Okay. Fantastic. Bashir, can you see my screen clearly?
Yes, very clear, sir.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much. All right, so welcome everybody once again, especially to those that are new, and for those that are members or new members. Yes, this call is also for you, because it's one thing to join a business, it's another thing to understand a business. It's one thing to putting your money into something, it's another thing to understand what your money is doing in that business. Like I said, this meeting is for the average Joe, for the new person that wants to understand what exactly is cryptocurrency and what exactly is the Royal Q application used for. Why are we always here every day preaching the gospel of Royal Q? And why do we keep telling you that it can help change your finances? That being said, please pay keen attention to all I have to say today, and you will understand why. All right, so let's move on. Now, before we talk about what cryptocurrency is, I would like you to understand that we also have, apart from cryptocurrency, we also have what we call fiat currency, FIAT. All right, before I go ahead, please, I always love a very interactive class. So when I ask a question, please do well to respond in the chat as quick as possible, so that way I'm sure that you are also paying attention and you're understanding all I am talking about. Thank you. So like I said, apart from cryptocurrency, we also have what we call fiat currency, FIAT. Now, what exactly is fiat currency? Fiat currency basically is paper money. Paper money, money that you and I touch with our hands, the money that you have right now in your pocket or in your bag or in your handbag or in your wallet. Paper money, money you can hold physically with your hand, is what we call fiat currency. All right. Now, apart from fiat currency, we also have what we call cryptocurrency. Now, when you hear cryptocurrency, it is money that exists on the internet. Basically, it is digital currency. You cannot hold it with your hands. You cannot send it to you cannot put this in your wallet. I mean, your physical wallet. You cannot put this in your physical pockets. Cryptocurrency is currency that exists only on the internet. Now, let's go back to fiat currencies. Please mute yourself as soon as you get into the room. Thank you very much. Now, let's talk about fiat currencies. Co-host, can you please help me mute the person who is... Thank you. So, Let's talk more about fiat currencies. Now, the thing about fiat currencies is that there are lots of restrictions when it comes to our regular banking systems. For example, let's say you would like to send a huge amount of money to a friend of yours or a few friends of yours that are living in different countries. Let's say you have a friend that lives in Finland, you have a friend that lives in Spain, you have a friend that lives in Sweden, and you would like to send them, let's say, $300,000. Now, you and I know that for you to send this money, let's say you're in Nigeria, the hassle is quite a lot. First of all, you need to get to the bank. When you get to the bank, you need to ensure that you can even send to those countries. Then you need to ensure that you have the limit to send to those countries as well. Obviously, people in the bank know that you want to send money, either the manager or the bank teller or your account officer will know that you are about to send money to someone. So now you can see that there is no privacy when it comes to your own money, when it comes to our regular banking systems. Somebody must know that you are about to send money to somebody. There is no privacy. But in cryptocurrency, the good thing about cryptocurrency is that every single transaction that has ever happened in cryptocurrency and that will ever happen in cryptocurrency gets recorded on what we call the blockchain, B-L-O-C-K, chain, the blockchain. Now, what is this blockchain? Like I said, the blockchain is where every single transaction that has ever happened in cryptocurrency gets recorded. Every single transaction. Let's say, for instance, let me use a layman's explanation so that you understand me. For those of us that go to the market often, maybe you have come across, maybe while you are buying something from a particular shop or store, maybe you're waiting for your own specific goods, and you saw a woman that walked up to that shop and she had a notebook with her. Maybe she took 1,000 naira from the owner of the shop. She took that money from him or her, and on her notebook, she recorded how much she took from that person. Let's say it was 1,000 naira. She would write 1,000 naira in her notebook. She would write the date it was taken. She would write the owner or the person that gave her the money in that notebook. Now, if you notice, from that shop, she would go to the next shop. She would do the same thing as well. Let's say she would take another 1,000 naira from the owner of that shop. She would write down the date it was taken. She would write down the person that gave her the money, all in that notebook. Now, you will notice that she will keep doing that from shop to shop to shop. Now you're wondering, why is she doing this? Why is she taking money and writing it down in that notebook? She's recording that transaction because of the future. So that notebook, as we speak, when you relate it to cryptocurrency, that notebook is the blockchain. Why? Because that notebook is where every transaction that has taken place is getting recorded. So that in the future, there is no issues as to, oh, you didn't give me this amount of money. Oh, it was not on this day I gave you this money. Oh, I gave it to you on this other day. No. As long as it was written right there, as soon as that transaction happened, it is now in that notebook. And the good thing about the blockchain is that any single transaction that gets uploaded to the blockchain or gets recorded on the blockchain cannot be changed. It cannot be edited. It cannot be altered. Now, that is the power of blockchain technology. Now, moving on, we've talked about fiat currencies. We've talked about cryptocurrencies. We've talked about blockchain as well. And I've tried my best to break down what blockchain is to the barest minimum. Now, for those of us that don't understand that cryptocurrency is here to stay, these are a few statistics for you. Over here, you can see that This statistic is actually old, as of last year. As of last year, there were over 420 million crypto users worldwide. 420 million. Now, when I checked for these statistics as of, let's say, 5 months ago, I saw that the new figure for this is approximately 570 million people worldwide hold cryptocurrency. 570 million. And it still hasn't scratched the surface, because yes, there are still people that are not into cryptocurrency. There are still people that haven't gotten involved with what cryptocurrency can offer them. So yes, the numbers will keep increasing as the days roll by. So the best thing for you is to get into cryptocurrency, get involved with anything that can earn you more cryptocurrency. Now, over here, you can see that these are the top countries that are involved with cryptocurrency, that hold the most cryptocurrency. Number one, we have USA at approximately 46 million people. Next, we have India at approximately 27 million. Next, we have Pakistan at approximately 26 million. We have Nigeria, 22 million, and we have Vietnam at 20 million. Now, this is to show you that cryptocurrency is here to stay, and it will keep evolving as the days roll by. Now, moving forward, we've talked about cryptocurrency. We've talked about how the blockchain is important to us, why it is essential because of it is transparent and also anonymous. All right. The blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. What do I mean by this? When I say the blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. On the blockchain, any transaction can be looked at, meaning that you can go to the blockchain right now and you can see a transaction that happened 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago. You would see that transaction right there, right now. You would see the amount of cryptocurrency that was sent. You will see the wallet address that sent the funds. You will also see the wallet address that received the funds. Now, that is transparency. But when I say it is also anonymous, I mean that on that blockchain, even though you can see the wallet address that sent the funds, the wallet address that received the funds, the amount of cryptocurrency that was sent at the time, but you cannot tell the owners of these wallets. You cannot tell if it is John that owns the wallet that sends the crypto. You cannot tell if it is Jane that received the crypto as well. So that is why it is said that the blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. I hope that's clear. Moving forward, now let's talk about cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, before you get involved with anything cryptocurrency, if you would like to send crypto, if you would like to receive crypto, if you'd like to buy or sell cryptocurrency, you have to get involved with what we call cryptocurrency exchange. Now, what is this exchange? Basically, an exchange is a platform or a digital marketplace. This is where you can buy cryptocurrency, where you can sell cryptocurrency, where you can keep it, where you can hold it. That is what a cryptocurrency exchange is. Now, there are so many cryptocurrency exchanges out there. I'm sure you've heard of the major one, which is Binance. So yes, there's Binance, there's Coinbase, there's Kraken, there is Luno, there is Bybit, there is OKX. There are so many cryptocurrency exchanges out there for you to take advantage of. And the beautiful thing about the RoyalQ business is that there are also a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges that work hand in hand that you can sync or link to your RoyalQ application to help get the most efficiency. As we go on with the presentation, I will show you exactly what I mean. All right, now moving forward, after talking about, we've talked about cryptocurrency exchanges, let's talk about trading pairs. Now, when you hear the word pair, P-A-I-R, What is the first thing that comes to your mind? For those that are here for the very first time, please type in the chat. When you hear the word pair, P-A-I-R, what is the first thing that pops up in your mind? I'm going to check the chat now to see people's responses. What is the first thing that pops up in your mind? What is the first thing that pops up in your mind when you hear the word pair? Please type in the chat. We're approximately 93 people in the room right now, so I should see, let's say approximately 10% should give some answer. Okay, so I'm just seeing 2 answers here. I should see more answers, please. Like I said, this should be a very interactive class, so please do well to respond. More answers. More answers. Anybody? Okay, so let's see people's answers. All right, so Bashir says comparing, okay? Ijele one says double, awesome. Goodness says 2 things that are complementary, awesome. Sean says joining or comparing. Modupe says 2. Ogunbanjo says more than 1 figure. Abubakar says 2 things that are alike. Saibok says joining or comparing. Mrs. Amara says 2 things involved. Awesome. So if you notice that there's something common in most of the answers that have been given, and that is the number of the word 2. So yes, when you hear pair, something that's in pairs, it has to do with something that's in twos, something that is, that's in twos, yeah. So when you hear trading pairs, of course, we've already established that pair has to do with something that's in twos. But when you hear trading pair, obviously now you know that has to relate with trading, but something that's in twos. Now, what exactly is a trading pair? Let's take, for instance, um, you're in Nigeria, and a friend of yours comes to visit you from the US, and they come over with $100 note. They give you that $100 note in Nigeria. They came to visit you in Nigeria. They handed over that $100. Please listen to all I have to say. Remember, I'll ask questions and you please type in the chat. So remember, you are in Nigeria. A friend of yours returns to Nigeria from the US. They come to visit you in your house. As they are leaving, they hand over $100 note to you. And when you take that money, you're grateful and all that. Now, the very next day, you decide to go exchange this money for the legal currency of the country you are living in. And because you are living in Nigeria, obviously, the currency you are supposed to exchange to is the Naira. So when you take this money and you head over to a Bureau de Change or to, Aboki LA, you get to him and you're like, Aboki, I beg, how much is the dollar to Naira today? How much is the dollar to the Naira today? Now, that question simply is USD /NGN. This simply means that you are asking him, please, how much is this US dollar I'm holding in the currency of the country that we are both living in right now, which is Nigeria? So NGN stands for Nigerian Naira and USD stands for United States dollar. So this thing right here, these 2 things, this is what you call a trading pair. All right. Right here, USD /NGN is the trading pair for that question you just asked the Bureau de Change. USD/NGN, meaning how much is this $100 I'm holding worth in my local Nigerian naira? That is simply what trading pair is. All right, let's take, please mute yourself when you get into the room. Thank you very much. Please mute yourself when you get into the room. Thank you. Thank you. Please mute yourself. Bashir, please help me mute. Let me just check.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, we've talked about trading pairs. I gave an example of a friend of yours that came to visit you in Nigeria and handed over $100 note to you. You decided to go exchange that money for the legal currency of the country you are living in, which is Nigeria. So the trading pair for that question would be USD/NGN. All right, let's take a little quiz or an example right now. So please, when you know the answer, type it in the chat. I'm expecting to see over 20 answers in the chat because we are approximately 90 plus people in the room. So please listen. So let's take, for instance, you are in the US. You are living in the US right now, and a friend of yours comes to visit you from the UK. A friend of yours comes to visit you from the UK. So yes, from the UK, they came to visit you there in the US. And over there in the US, they handed over £100 note to you. The currency, £100 note currency to you there in the US. Obviously, because you cannot spend that pounds in the country you are living in, you decide to go exchange it for the legal currency of the country you are living in at the time. Could you please type in the chat, what would the trading pair be for that transaction? Remember all the details. You are living in the US. A friend of yours came to visit you from the UK. They handed over £100 note to you there in the US. You decided to go exchange that for the legal currency of the country you are living in at the time. Please type in the chat, what would the trading pair be for that transaction? Using the example we just had with the Naira, what would the trading pair be for that transaction? Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. Okay. Okay, so Kanye says GBP/USD, USD/, fantastic. All right. So I can see that we have Felicia, please, this meeting is not for this. You need to get back to the person who invited you. And we have meetings for that on Friday and Saturday, so we can attend to those questions. This meeting today is for the average Joe, for the person that is looking to get started, and for the new members that want to understand the business. So thank you. All right, so people are saying GBP, awesome. So yes, for the question I just asked, majority of people have gotten the answer correctly. And yes, the correct answer would be, remember, you are staying in the US, a friend of yours came to visit you, handed over £100 note to you there in the US. You decided to exchange it for the legal currency of your country at the time. Because you are living in the US, that is the currency you're going to change it to. So yes, when you head over to the Bureau de Change, the trading pair for that transaction would be GBP/USD. This would be the trading pair. So from these examples, from these two examples, I'm sure that by now, when you see a trading pair, you can already tell that it's a trading pair. If you didn't know this before, at least now you've learned something new. All right, let's take this step further. Please type in the chat. All these examples we just gave, from you being in Nigeria to a friend of yours handing over $100 note to you, or to you living in the US and a friend of yours handing over £100 note to you, what type of trading pair is this? Would this be, is this a fiat trading pair or crypto trading pair? What type of trading pair are these examples we've been talking about for the past few minutes? Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. What type of trading pairs have these examples been for the past few minutes? All right, so Bashir says fiat, fiat, fiat. Please, if you feel it is crypto, please type crypto. Do not feel pressure to type what everybody else is typing. If you make a mistake, we are here to also correct you. Anybody? All right, so fantastic. So there's no varying answer in the chat, so we'll move on. So yes, the correct answer is they are all examples of fiat trading pairs because all these are currencies that you can hold with your hands. You know, they are physical currencies that you can touch with your hands, put in your pockets, in your wallets, and so on. All right, so yes, we have fiat trading pairs, but also we have crypto trading pairs. For example, here you can see BTC/USDT. Now, this is an example of a cryptocurrency trading pair. And this simply means BTC simply stands for Bitcoin, which I'm sure you have heard of by now by some way or means. And the next one beside it, which is USDT, is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular fiat dollar. I will say it again. What is USDT? One second, please. All right, so what exactly is USDT? Now, USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular fiat dollar. So one USDT is equal to $1, and vice versa. One USD is also equal to one USDT. Now, for those that don't know what the T stands for, the T stands for Tether. T-E-T-H-E-R. T-E-T-H-E-R. So if you've never heard of that before, the T in USDT stands for Tether. When you hear Tether, it's something that is something attached to something else. The word Tether means something attached to something else. So USDT here stands for United States Dollar Tether. And also note that USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular fiat dollar. I hope that is clear. And then we will move on. All right, so we're going to talk about some basic investment strategies when it comes to cryptocurrency. How do you multiply your crypto? How do you make more of your cryptocurrency? Now, there are different ways to, but I'm going to touch on the two major ways that you can make more cryptocurrency. Now, the first one is by what we call hodling. HODLING. It is a play on the word hold, which is HOLD, to hold onto something. To hold onto something. You are not letting go. Now, let me give you an example. Let's take, for instance, years ago, you decided to purchase a piece of land at 1 million naira. And you told yourself that, okay, for the next 10 years, you are not going to sell that piece of land to anybody, no matter the condition, no matter the family issues, no matter the economical issues. You are not selling that piece of land because you want to make maximum gain on it in 10 years' time. Let's say 6 months down the line, somebody comes to you with a very juicy offer, and they tell you that they would like to take that land off your hands for 6 million naira. A land you bought for 1 million, someone is now offering you 6 million in a space of 6 months. It looks like an amazing offer, but you decide to decline because you understand that in the future, this piece of land will be worth way more than it is worth right now. So thankfully, you hold on to your promise. And fast forward to 2024, you decide to go sell that piece of land. And right now, that piece of land is currently going for, let's say, a lot of development has happened around that area. There are new estates, it's the roads are now tarred. There are schools popping up here and there, hospitals here and there. So it has become a very conducive environment. And right now, that piece of land that you purchased for 1 million naira is currently going for, let's say, 15 million naira at the time. So now you see that you made the right decision. You made the right choice to hold on to that piece of land, regardless of whatever happened throughout the time it took to get to 2024. That is exactly how it works in cryptocurrency as well. Because for those people who made a lot of money in cryptocurrency, there were those that took the risk when Bitcoin and when crypto started at first. Because trust me, right now we are so free talking about cryptocurrency. People are trying to get involved with it. But when Bitcoin first started, most people did not want to get involved because they thought it was a scam. They said Bitcoin cannot work. It is money that is not backed by anything. It will crash in a few months. How can you get involved with something like this? But here we are, years later, and that is one of the most talked about topics around the world. So the people who took advantage, the people who took action, people who took the risk to get involved with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole are those that became multimillionaires. Why would you say they became multimillionaires? Now let's do a little math. When Bitcoin came out, Bitcoin was approximately, it was less than $1. One BTC. One BTC was less than $1. It was approximately 10 cents. 10 cents. Please, could you stop writing? Thank you. It was approximately 10 cents, one BTC. Paul, could you please stop writing on my screen? Thank you very much. One BTC was approximately 10 cents. All right, so let's do a little math. Let's take, for instance, back then, you decided to purchase 10 Bitcoins at 10 cents. When Bitcoin came out, you decided to purchase 10 Bitcoins at 10 cents for each one. How much would you spend to purchase those 10 pieces of Bitcoin? Please type in the chat. How much would you spend to purchase 10 pieces of Bitcoin, 10 whole Bitcoins at a price of 10 cents? How much would you have spent years ago to purchase those Bitcoins? Please type in the chat. All right, so anybody else? Is it just Victor? We are almost 100 in the room, so I should expect more answers. Any more answers? Any more answers? Anybody? Okay. All right. So yes, $1. So you'd have spent a whooping amount of $1 to purchase 10 pieces of Bitcoin. Now, let's say, for instance, you purchased those Bitcoins back then, you purchased 10 whole Bitcoins back then, 10 BTC back then, at the price of $1. Now, let us fast forward. Now, let's say you forgot about that wallet address, you forgot about the wallet, you carried on with your life for years, you went on with your 9-to-5 job or your business, you carried on with life, just life went on continuously. And now, fast forward to 2024. Could you please type in the chat, how much is one Bitcoin as we speak? Can you please type how much one Bitcoin is right now as we speak? How much is one Bitcoin right now as we speak? One Bitcoin, how much is it right now? How much is one Bitcoin right now as we speak? Please type in the chat. Okay, so Abdul Bello says $57,000 approximately. Anybody else? Awesome. So yes. So let's take, for instance, You open that wallet address, and remember, you purchased 10 Bitcoins back then for the price of $1. If you open that wallet right now, this evening as we speak, how much would you see in that wallet right now? Please type in the chat. I'm only trying to show you the power of hodling, the power of this word here, the power of what hodling can do for you. So how much would you see in your wallet right now if you opened it? How much would you see there right now? Anybody? All right, so Obona says you would see $570,000 sitting there right now. Yes, exactly. So $570,000 is what you would see in your wallet right now if you had purchased 10 pieces of Bitcoin back then at 10 cents each, which would have been $1 to purchase 10 Bitcoins. So fast forward to right now, where one Bitcoin is now $57,000 in that same wallet, without you touching it for years, what you would see there right now would be $570,000. Now, I don't know of any business in this world, any business that can generate such gains in such space of time, except cryptocurrency. Now, that is what the power of hodling can do for you. Now, you might be telling me that, is it not too late? Bitcoin has already pumped, so high. Trust me, we are entering the bull run, and this price right now we are seeing of Bitcoin, it will be in a few months' time or in a year plus time, it will be something of the past. But the good thing too is that it's not just Bitcoin. There are so many cryptocurrencies out there that you can take advantage of that are still in cents. Same way Bitcoin started in cents. Yes, there are still cryptocurrencies out there right now that are still in cents and have massive potential. So that is the power of hodling for you. Remember, hodling, for those who hodl, they are called hodlers. HODLERS, hodlers. Now, hodlers are looking for long-term gains. Remember, they can hold on to a coin for months, for years, until they are satisfied with the profits that they are seeing. All right, moving on. Let's move on to the next way you can help yourself by making more cryptocurrency, and that is by what we call day trading. Day trading, which is done by day traders. Now, for you to become a day trader, you need extensive knowledge and understanding of the market. It is not something you just jump into and start doing. You need to study how to trade, when to trade, what to look out for. So yes, becoming a day trader is not an easy and everyday job. You need to decide as what you want to do. You need to learn how to get it done so that you don't get caught in markets that are not favorable. So the thing about day traders is that they are looking for the shortest time possible to make profit and leave the market. They are not looking to hold on to a coin for months or years. No, they are looking for coins that have high volatility, that they can get into the market and get out of the market as quick as possible. That is why they are called day traders. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that you must be one or the other. It does not mean that you must be a day trader or you must be a hodler. It doesn't mean that you must be one or the other. As a matter of fact, you can be both of them. Why do I say this? I say this because there are so many cryptocurrencies out there that you can take advantage of. As we speak right now, there are coins that if you look at them, they have the potential to do well in the future. So yes, in those coins, you can become a hodler for those coins. You can hold on to those coins, invest in them, and wait for the long term. But also, there are coins that are very volatile, that as a matter of fact, you can trade them on a daily or a weekly basis and make your profit and leave. So now you see why I say You can't be a day trader and also be a hobby. I hope it's clear. If you're understanding all I'm saying so far, please type a yes in the chat. If you're not, please type a no before we go into the main thing of the meeting. If you've understood everything I've said so far, please type a yes in the chat. If you haven't as well, please type a no. All right. Awesome. All right. So moving forward, let's talk about the business of the day, which is Royal Q. But before we get into Royal Q proper, I would like to talk about a few things. Now, I'm hoping you've all heard of the words artificial intelligence, AI. I'm hoping you've all or most of us have heard of the words artificial intelligence or AI for short. Now, AI is here to make my life and your life easier in whatever it is that you do for a living, whatever business or 9 to 5 that you do. There are AI tools that are here to help make your work easier. Let's take, for instance, in the US right now, as we speak, the man they call Elon Musk, who is the owner of the company, the Tesla company. Now, what do? The Tesla company produces self-driving cars. As a matter of fact, these were things that we saw as kids in movies, and we thought, this can never happen. How will a car be driving on its own without anybody there? But as we speak, that is our present reality. They produce self-driving cars. You simply impute your destination or your location. The car will drive up to where you are and pick you up and take you to your destination. In China, as we speak, there are self-driving taxi companies. And when I say taxi companies, I mean those taxi companies don't have a single driver on their payroll because all their cars are self-driving. You simply impute your location, the car will track you and get to where you are. You get into the car and it takes you to your destination. Of course, yeah, it will put a lot of people out of job, but it is the future. Change is constant. Technology will keep evolving, whether we like it or not. So all I'm trying to say is all these things are happening through the power of artificial intelligence. Why I'm saying that is that no matter what we do, we cannot run from this. If there is a tool that can help make your transportation better, a tool that can help make your education better, a tool that can help make whatever 9 to 5 or business that you do better, why not have an AI tool that can help make your trading better? Which is where Royal Q comes into play. Because Royal Q is an AI trading bot that can help monitor your trades, help you buy, help you sell. Basically, it will be your own employee. It will work for you while you carry on with your regular life or regular 9 to 5 or business. This Royal Q bot will be working in the market for you tirelessly. That is why we are here, constantly preaching the gospel of Royal Q to you. So moving forward, let's talk about these images on the screen. On the left here, we have a human being. He's looking like he's not having a very good time, but this doesn't mean that human traders don't make profit. Excuse me. This doesn't mean that human traders don't make profit. As a matter of fact, there are traders that make a lot of profit even without using AI tools. Yes, I'll be lying to you if I tell you that you must use an AI tool before you can be profitable in the market. That's a lie. But there is only so much a human being can do at a time. There's only a specific or a fixed amount of numbers a human being can monitor at a go. A human being cannot monitor 50 trades or 30 trades at a go. Buying, selling, monitoring. When do I sell? When do I buy? When do I exit the market? Of course, you have to have a lot of screens to monitor all those markets. But on the right here, we have an AI tool that has no limits, an AI tool that will work for you, an AI tool that doesn't care about what's going on with your life. It only executes, it only does its job. As a human, there are a lot of emotions, and having emotions when trading can be detrimental. Let's take, for instance, at the back of your mind, you feel, I need to trade right now because my kids' school fees are almost due in 2 days. Or I need to trade right now because my rent is due on Monday. Now you are pressured, you are trading with emotions, and 8 times out of 10, you can't lose money that way. But an AI tool doesn't have those baggages. An AI tool doesn't care what is going on with your life. It just performs. And that is why the RealQ bot is amazing. Moving on. Now, how does the RealQ bot really work? Over here, we have a graphical representation of how it works. Now, on the left here, you have the RealQ application. In the middle, we have what we call the API. And on the right here, you have your cryptocurrency exchange. Remember, we talked about this earlier, where I talked about different ones. You have Binance, you have Bybit, we have KuCoin, we have OKX. So yes, this would be your cryptocurrency exchange. Now, if you have ever been a part of a business where they have promised you, please type in the chat, yes, if you have. If you have ever been a part of a business where they have promised you, send us your money, we will trade for you, and we will send you your profits or your percentages every day or every week or every month. Of course, they all disappeared. If you have ever been a part of such business, please type yes in the chat. Let me know if my people are here. If you have ever been a part of a business that has promised heaven and earth and has told you, send us your money, we will trade for you, we will send you your percentages every day or every month or every week, please type yes. So Samuel says no. That is fantastic. You must be very new to the cryptocurrency space. Okay, Manuel says yes with premium tiers. Exactly. Samuels are saying no. You must be really new to the crypto space, and trust me, you are lucky. For RealQ to be the very first thing or the very first good thing that you are seeing, trust me, the person who invited you to this call loves you. So please, this is a sign for you to get started with RealQ as quick as possible. Now, why did I give that example? I gave that example because in RealQ, you do not send your money to anyone. I will say it again. In RealQ, you do not send your funds to anybody. All your funds are sitting pretty in your control. Your capital, your profits, everything sits in your control, in your own personal cryptocurrency exchange. Now, why is that powerful? Nobody can access it except you, because you have the password, you have the email addresses, you have everything that pertains to security of that account is in your hands. Nobody can make a withdrawal except you. Now, what does this API do? The API simply gives the RealQ a peek into how much you have in here. It gives it permission to trade the money in here, but it can't withdraw out. So that's what I'm saying, that your profits, your capital, all remains sitting inside here, which is under your control. How many businesses out there have you seen such a thing? Where they are letting you hold your money. It's just like you hiring somebody to come and clean your house. You don't have a housekeeper that lives in the house. The person just comes to the house, cleans the house, and leaves. You have a clean house, and the person is happy because they've taken, you've paid them off. But you have a clean house. So it's just like that. RealQ application having access to trade the funds you have in your personal cryptocurrency exchange, and they can't even make you withdraw. Your profits, your capital, all remains in your own possession. I do not know of any other business that has this method, that has worked all this while. RoyalQ has been here since 2021. 2021. It's a proven business that has stood the test of time. So if you're here now, trust me, yes, the very best time to get involved with RoyalQ was 2021, but the next best time is now, as you are listening to this call. As soon as you are done, to get back to the person who invited you and let them know that you are ready to start. This is a journey that is worth getting on board. Moving on. Now, on the right here, we have how the RoyalQ bot trades for us. It trades for us with a method called spot trading. Now, when you hear the word spot trading, it might be confusing a bit. Let's say if you've never heard of the word before, you might think it is something very complicated. But I'm here to tell you that when you hear spot trading, it is as easy as ABC. Let me explain. Every single man and woman, every single businessman and woman that decides to start a business, can you please tell me in the chat? There's one thing that that they're getting involved with that business because of. Please type in the chat. What do you think it is? Every businessman and woman that has sat down and thought, I think I can start this business. I think I want to do this business because. Can you please tell me what their why is? The majority of them. Please type in the chat. Well, those that attend my meetings will already know what the answer is. But for those that are here for the very first time, I'm hoping I see varying answers. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing a different answer from usual. Samuel says earn. Awesome. Lovett says profit. World Creation says profit. Stephen says money. Generally, everybody's saying profits. So yes, the main thing that a businessman or woman is thinking about when they are starting a new business is the profit that they can make in this business. Nobody starts a business hoping to lose money. I have not met that person, and I don't think I ever will. Everybody starts a business because they see and they feel there is a potential to make profit in this business. Now, what is making profit? Making profit simply is sourcing for a product, buying that product at a cheaper price, and then selling at a higher price. Buying at a cheaper price and selling at a higher price. The difference, obviously, is what we call the profit. So, as simple as that sounds, remember, I told you that when you hear the word spot trading, it might sound complicated. But as a matter of fact, all I just explained right now, buying low and selling high, simply is what spot trading is. Simple. Buying a cryptocurrency at a lower price and selling at a higher price. Now, that is how the RoyalQ bot makes profit for us. This is the safest form of trading. There are different types of trading, but spot trading is the safest way to trade your funds. Now, why is it important? Why is spot trading so powerful? Let's do a little example. Let's take, for instance, you decide to purchase a keg of fuel. Let's say a bag of rice. I like using bag of rice. Let's say you purchase a bag of rice for 30,000 naira. Or for 30,000 naira. You purchase a bag of rice. And your plan is that when this bag of rice gets to 50,000 naira, you are going to sell off in profit. But something happens in the market, and now this bag of rice drops to 25,000. It drops further to 20,000. it even drops further to 10,000 naira per bag of rice. Now, at this point, would you say that you have lost money? Please type in the chat. At this point, please mute yourself when you get into the room. Please mute yourself. At this point here, would you say that you have lost money? Please type in the chat. At the point of 10,000 naira per bag of rice, would you say that you have lost money? Please mute yourself. All right, so at that point, would you say that you have lost money? I'm seeing just a few answers here. There are 90 people in this room right now. I need to see at least 10 answers. Would you say that you have lost money? Okay, Bashir. Oh, okay. 1 second. All right, so Abubakar says, yes, you have lost money. Samuel says no. Basically, every other person says no. All right, so I will explain why you haven't lost money at this point. Now, at this point of 10,000 naira per bag of rice, yes, for the person, for the common man, for the common consumer, it's a good thing because they get to buy a bag of rice at a cheaper price. But as a businessman or woman, this is not so much of a good news for you. Now, why I will tell you that you haven't lost money here is because you are still in possession of that bag of rice. You have not sold it off. It is still in your house. And the good thing about the market is that the market always fluctuates. So yes, the market goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. So the market constantly fluctuates in price. There is no permanent upward movement. And also there is no permanent downward movement. There is always continuous volatility in the market. So that being said, the reason you haven't lost money with this bag of rice is because this market will eventually return back to the price as of when you bought it. And if you're patient enough, it will eventually get to your initial profit target. So the only thing that you would need to have throughout this entire time is patience, which is the time that it would take the price of rice to go from 30,000 naira down to 10,000 and eventually back to 30,000. And as long as you don't sell at this point, as long as you don't sell off at this point, you haven't lost money. In Royal Q, we have a saying that anything that happens here from 30,000 down to 10,000, we call it floating loss, FLOATING, floating loss. The only time we will say that you've had an actual loss is if the price of rice drops to 25,000 or all the way down to 10,000, and at some point you say, I've waited for too long, Derry. I cannot wait anymore for this market to return back. And at that point, you decide to sell off that bag of rice to someone else. You decide to give that bag away and collect money. That is when we'll say that you just had an actual loss, right? So all these examples I just gave right now is what spot trading is all about. And this is how RoyalQ helps you and I make money safely. Moving on to the next way you can make money, the RoyalQ trades for us is by what we call the martingale strategy, or we call it the dollar cost averaging method. Dollar cost averaging method. Now, how does this work? Let us take, for instance, there are two people involved. The first person is called Mr. James. Now, Mr. James decides to purchase a cryptocurrency for $200. Sorry, excuse me. He decides to purchase a cryptocurrency for $200. His plan is that when this coin gets to $700, he's going to sell. That is his plan. But something happens in the market, and now that coin he bought for $20 starts depreciating in value. It drops from 200, it drops to 150. It drops to 100. It even drops to $50. A coin that he bought for $12 is now worth $50. Now, Mr. James is wondering, what should he do? Should he sell off? Has he lost money? Can he recover? These are the thoughts going on in his head. But thankfully, Mr. James decides, you know what, I'm just going to leave this money here like that and carry on with my business or carry on with my life. I'm not going to stress over it. I'll just wait for the market. And thankfully, yes, it might take a while, but the market eventually recovers. And it recovers back to this is $200 spot. If he decides even wait longer, he can get to his profit target of 700. Now, the only thing that he would have lost throughout this entire time here is time, which is the time it took him to wait for the market to go from 200 down to 50 and back up. That is the only thing that he lost. He did not lose money. That is the first example from Mr. James. But let's take, for instance, we have another person, a lady at this point, and her name is, let's say, Miss Jane. Now, Miss Jane decides to do the same thing that Mr. James has done, but with a little difference. What do I mean? Same thing. She decides to purchase a cryptocurrency for $200 as well. Her plan is that when this coin, same thing, when it gets to 700, she's going to sell in profits. But something happens again. The market starts dropping. The market starts dropping. It drops from $200, drops to 150. It drops to 100, even drops to 50. But Miss Jane is not panicking like Mr. James, because Miss Jane understands the martingale strategy, and I will show you what that is. Now, every time the market dropped, Miss Jane decided to purchase more coins. Every time the market dropped, Miss Jane decided to purchase more coins. Every time the market dropped even further, she purchased more coins. Somebody might look at her and be like, this woman, are you well? You see that the market is going down, losing value, and you are here still putting money into something that is dying. What is wrong with you? No, she's not mad. She's not dumb. She understands that the market does only two things. The market goes down and it comes up. The market is constantly fluctuating. And she knows that even this opportunity, this drop in the market, is an opportunity for her to buy more positions at a cheaper price. That is why every time the market dropped down further, Miss Jane bought more coins, because as soon as this market starts recovering, even before it gets to this $200, she would have made way more money than Mr. James, because all Mr. James did was wait for the market to go down and come up. But Miss Jane decided to take advantage of the drop in the market and purchase more coins at a cheaper value. And of course, by the time this coin gets to her profit target eventually, she would have made way more than this $700 because of the power of the martingale strategy. So yes, this entire method here, buying at different levels, is what we call the martingale strategy. This strategy that Miss Jane used is exactly what the Royal Bot does for you and I with ease. You are not there to press, oh, buy now or sell now. No, The RoyalQ bot does it for you with ease while you go about your everyday life. And that is very powerful. Now, moving on. Let's talk about other operations that the RoyalQ bot carries out. The first one or the next one is called the cycle strategy. Now, when you hear cycle, obviously, two things or one thing should come to your mind. Something that is repetitive, a cycle, something that is constantly happening. Now, a cycle strategy is where you instruct your RoyalQ bot. Let's take, for instance, you tell your RoyalQ bot, please purchase a coin for me at $200. When the coin gets to $500, please sell. If this coin starts coming back down to, let's say, $300, David, Dr. David, please stop writing on my screen. Thank you very much. All right, so you have instructed your RoyalQ bot that has distracted me. All right, so we're trying to talk about the cycle strategy. And let's say, for instance, you tell your RoyalQ bot to please purchase a coin for you at $200. And when the price gets up to $500, please sell. You've also told your RoyalQ bot that if the price starts coming back down, please repurchase, buy more of this coin. If the market goes back up, sell. If it comes back down, buy. If it goes up, sell. Now, this is a constant motion, a constant instruction you have given to your RoyalQ bot to keep this process going. And that is why it is called the cycle strategy. All right. Now, the next one is what we call the one-shot strategy. And of course, as the name implies, it is a one-time action. It's a one-time instruction given to your RoyalQ bot. You tell it, please purchase at a certain amount, let's say $200. When you get to 500, please sell. If this market starts coming back down, do not rebuy into the market. I don't care how low it goes or how high it goes, do not buy or sell further. The only instruction that was given was the first one, which was buy at 200 and sell at 500. And that is the only transaction that the RoyalQ bot will execute for you. So these are the strategies that the RoyalQ bot helps you and I perform with ease without you having to be there yourself to do these things. Now, what kind of profit can you make from these strategies? The first one, which is the cycle strategy, you can make from 5 to 30% profits per month, depending on the cryptocurrency or the coin you have decided to trade. Next, for the one-shot strategy, you can make from 5 to 100%. Yes, 5 to 100% per month, depending on the cryptocurrency or the coin you have decided to trade. Now, moving forward, what kind of income do you make in RoyalQ? The first one is what we call the trading income over here, which simply is whenever your RoyalQ bot sells successfully for you in profits, we call that a trading income. Next, we have the team trading profits. And this simply is when you decide to show someone this business and they decide to join the business, it gets started, they purchase their own bot and they start trading. When they make profits, you also make profits. Next, we have the affiliate income. Same thing. When you decide to bless somebody with this opportunity, as soon as it gets started, you also get rewarded for bringing them into this business as well. Finally, we have what we call the fill fee. Now, remember, we talked about profits. We talked about a businessman and a businesswoman. We talked about the main thing that is on their mind when they start a business. So you might be wondering, this RoyalQ application is so amazing. Was it just created for free for everybody to use without anything? No, it's a business. So RoyalQ the team, the people that made the RoyalQ bot, of course, they made it because they also want to make profits. But the good thing is that they only make profits when you make profits. They are hoping you make profits. So yes, they are rooting for you to make profits. Why? Because when you make profit, they make profits. Every single profit you make, 20% of that goes to them. But only when you make profits. So if you don't make any profits, nothing goes to them. But as soon as you make any profit, 20% of that goes to the RoyalQ developers. So if it's $10 you made in profit, 20% of that will go to them. If it's $100 you made in profit, 20% of that as well will go to them. All right, so how do you get started with this RoyalQ business? Number one, you will need a minimum of 240 USDT to get started. Remember, we talked about USDT. 240 USDT, because RoyalQ is a cryptocurrency business, you have to use USDT to get started and trade. Next, 120 USDT gives you access to use the RoyalQ bot. This is like a subscription, the same way you pay for your Netflix or your Amazon Prime or any streaming service that you use. This is the same way you will need to pay to use the RoyalQ application. But this has a validity period of 1 year. So yes, after 1 year, you will need to renew this, but of course, by then you'd have made way more than you used to purchase the bot. Next, 20 USDT for the fuel fee. Remember, I told you that the only time that they will take a cut of your profits is when and only when you make profits. If you don't make profits, nothing goes to the RoyalQ team. All right. Next, you also need a minimum of 100 USDT in your cryptocurrency exchange. So yes, when you say $100, of course, you can't expect to make the kind of profits that someone is trading with. Let's say someone trading with $1,000 or $10,000. You can't expect to make that kind of profit if you're trading with $100. But this is the minimum. This is the minimum. There are lots of people trading with massive amounts. Just start where you feel comfortable. 500, 200, 1,000, 10,000. There are people trading with that amount right now as we speak. Now, here are reasons why RoyalQ is just amazing. The first one is that there's no payment of salary to anyone because everything is done on your smartphone. Next, no data is required. The only time you require internet access is when you are setting up your trade. When you are telling when you're giving your RoyalQ bot instructions on what to do, that is the only time you will need your internet service to be on. But as soon as you start off that trade, at that point, you can turn off your data, you can walk into a place that has no internet access, and it will be seamless. The RoyalQ bot will keep trading with ease. Next, 0% supervision. Your capital and your profits are 100% in your custody. Remember, I told you that everything pertaining to security is in your hands. Nobody has access to your money except you. No other person except you. Next, your kids can inherit this business. Yes, we have a saying that in the future, we will no longer be passing on documents and land documents to our loved ones. We'll be passing on our passwords, our private keys for our loved ones to access our digital wealth. Next, no loss of funds and no third party. Next, no skills required unless and until you decide to become a day trader. Because I told you that day traders have extensive knowledge and understanding of the market. That is why they are profitable. All right. Now, finally, when you start this RoyalQ business, when you decide to join the RQTMI team, what do you get? What do you tend to get? The first one is you get access to the RQTMI premium group where you can learn and earn more. We have a thriving community on WhatsApp, on Telegram as well, that you can take advantage of. We have people that are there to hold your hands and train you, to show you how it works. That's why we have these meetings almost every day of the week to help train people to teach about the business. Because trust me, you can never get enough of learning. There's no island of knowledge. The more you attend meetings, the more you learn. I still attend meetings because there's always something you learn from a new meeting every single time. So yes, we have amazing leaders that are there to help you in whatever it is. We have amazing members that are also there to help you with anything you need as well. Next, free training until you become a pro with the Royal Q bot. Now, we have meetings Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays. Now, we have technical meetings on Fridays, Saturday, and Sunday. That is where, we go to the charts, we look at coins, we look at what to trade and how to trade. Those are the more technical meetings. Next up, you also get the RKTMI trading setup template. Now, this template caters to whatever capital structure you have, from $100 all the way to 100,000 or whatever it is. There is a trading setup for every single person to help them maximize their trade. Now, if you decide to go learn all this elsewhere, it could cost you from $5,000 to $6,000 just to learn. But once you join the RKTMI team, you get all these things for free. Because as soon as you get involved, you become part of the family. We teach you, we show you how to build your business effectively. Awesome. So that being said, thank you so much for taking our time to listen to my presentation today. If you got any value from this meeting, please type value. If you understood every single thing, please type value. Do well to get back to the person who invited you to the call and let them know that you're about to get started. Thank you very much. I will unmute ourselves to say our goodbyes. Have an amazing evening. Goodbye, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you. Highly appreciate.
Good night.